guys, welcome back to the channel. So let's start today's video with the ACCA F1 Business Technology chapter number 8, which is the external analysis of the social, environmental and technological factors. Okay, in the earlier chapters we discussed that there are 6 factors that affect the business organization, okay, which are the political and the legal factors, which we discussed in the chapter number 6, and the economic factors, which we discussed in the chapter number 7. So in this chapter we are going to discuss about the rest of the 3, which are the social, environmental and technological factors. Okay, how does these 3 affect the business environment? Okay, so first of all, it is the social and the demographic factors. So demographic factors are the characteristics of the population in which the business environment is operating. Okay, what is the size of the population, what is the sex ratio, what is the income status, okay, what is the education level in the economy, what is the health status, and what is the occupation level of people, whether most of the people are employed or unemployed. Okay, so all these things affect the business organizations. Okay, so there is the population size. Okay, what is the size of the population? Okay, what is the birth rate, death rate, immigration rate, and this. Okay, then there is the composition. Okay, what is the sex ratio, okay, whether there are more children or whether there is the youth or whether there is the elderly people in majority in the population. Okay, so the business has a clear idea of what its target audience is. Okay, then there is the population location. Okay, so by knowing the location of the population, it helps to determine the needs of the people. Okay, whether if they are living in the cities, okay, they have different needs. Okay, if they are residing in the villages or near the seashores, okay, so they have different needs. Okay, so population location is also one of the factors that affect the business environment. Okay, business analysis. Okay, then there's the wealth. Okay, whether more people are savings or they are spending more. Okay, so whether they have a higher disposable income or not. Okay, so all these factors are there. What is the education rate? Okay, what is the health status? So this is the way how the social factors affect the business environment. Okay, so next is social trend. Okay, social trend is the trends prevailing in the market. Okay, so trends can be affected by a number of ways. For example, the social structure, okay, the values of the people, the attitude, okay, and the taste. Okay, social structure is the way people interact. Okay, the way people interact and form groups. Okay, and how they communicate with each other. Okay, so this affects the social trends. Okay, the values, what are the values? Values are the accepted behaviors and the norms. Okay, these are the accepted behaviors and the norms. Okay, whether people prefer a very subtle 9 to 5 life. Okay, or they prefer new things and new changes. Okay, or whether they prefer companies, okay, which causes less environmental pollution. Okay, but these are the ethics. Okay, these are the ethics and the accepted norms, okay, which people prefer. Okay, then there's the attitude. Attitude is the people's likes and dislikes. Okay, attitude represents a person or group's likes or dislikes for something. Okay, for instance, there is an increasing willingness across Europe to seek compensation for organizations for alleged wrongs. Okay, this has become known as the compensation culture and can significantly increase the cost for organization. Just in public attitudes to waste have led to massive opportunities for recycling food. So okay, the attitudes are the likes and the dislikes. What does the people prefer? Okay, these can change over a time. Okay, and affect the social structure, and hence it can affect the business organization overall. ठीक है, it keeps on changing. ठीक है, it's not that एक बार हमने analyze कर दिया, ठीक है, कि what are the social factors, तो वो same ही रहेगा. No, it changes over a time. Okay, next is the taste are the preferences of the people. Okay, the clothing is an excellent case. Okay, on rainy days, okay, people prefer to have umbrellas. In winters, people prefer wearing jackets and caps and gloves. Okay, in summers they prefer cotton clothes. Okay, so there are changes which keeps on changing with time. Okay, due to various weather changes or climate changes. Okay, so social factors keep on changing. It's not that एक बार fix हो गए, एक बार business analyze कर ले कि yes this is the social condition of the environment, तो वो fix रहेगा. No, it keeps on changing. Okay, so it's like that. Now what are the government policies? Okay, we look at the test to understanding learnings later. Let's just get through the concept first. So what are the government policies? Okay, what is the population structure? Okay, whether there is a higher birth rate or higher death rate. Okay, for example, the one child policy in China, okay, which led to serious implications. Okay, there was a higher number of elderly people in the country. Okay, and the lesser of youth. Okay, so businesses will operate in a similar way. So the population structure. Now the housing. Okay, if there is an increase in population, okay, then there is a higher demand for housing. So the more of the housing firms will set up in the economy. Okay, then the employment status of the population. Okay, whether there is a rise in employment rate. Okay, or whether there is a decline in the employment status. Okay, whether more people are employed or more people are unemployed. Okay, so it depends. Okay, so the health status. Okay, health concerns. Okay, if there is a health concern, okay, prevailing health concerns in the economy, then more of the hospitals and the medication manufacturing firms will set up in the economy. Okay, the firms will focus on those diseases that are prevalent in the country. Okay, so all these factors affect the affect socially. So all these factors socially affect the business environment. Okay, next is the environmental factors. What are the environmental factors? Okay, how does the businesses affect the environment, and how does the environment affect the business? Okay, there are two types of questions: how the business is affected and how the environment is affected. Okay, so let's first how the business affects the environment. Okay, the business affect the environment in a few ways. Okay, for example, the population. Okay, the manufacturing firms, okay, they emit harmful gases. Okay, they produce harmful waste. Okay, so how are they disposing their waste? Okay, what steps are they taking to minimize the effects from the smokes and the pollution, okay, which they are causing to the environment? Okay, then there's a setup of manufacturing firms. Okay, so there might be a destruction, okay, of natural habitats. Okay, loss of plant and animal. Okay, what areas are these firms setting? So these are the ways in which the businesses affect the environment. Okay, the next question is how the environment affects the businesses. Okay, what are the environmental changes that the businesses has to focus on for their continuing success? Okay, the changes in climate first. Okay, like I told you, in summers we prefer ice cream, in winters we prefer hot coffee. Okay, there's a clothing change. Okay, in summers we prefer cotton clothes, in winters we prefer jackets and sweaters and mufflers. Okay, then lack of resources. How does the businesses, okay, run when there is a lack of resources due to changes in climate, for example? Okay, lack of resources might increase the cost of raw material. Okay, increasing the sales price and thus reducing the profits. Okay, then there might be a loss of sales if the business does not focus on the environmental changes. Okay, if they continue to manufacture cotton clothes in winters, there will be a loss of sales. Okay, what are the legislations imposing on the businesses? Okay, whether there are some rules and regulations that the businesses has to comply of. Okay, whether there are, if the businesses does not comply with those rules and regulations, with the legislative laws, okay, they will have to pay fines, thus reducing the profits. Okay, so these are the ways in which the business gets affected by the environment. Okay, so what are the ways in which the businesses can limit the damage to the environment? Okay, this can be first due to a very classic example is recycling. Okay, the businesses might try to recycle their waste. Okay, they might improve the energy efficiency. Okay, they can redesign their production strategies. Okay, by carefully production planning, okay, redesigning the products, okay, and reducing the packages on products. Packaging means mostly the packaging comes in plastic packaging, so they can redesign the packaging or reduce the packaging on the product, okay. Then there's a concept of sustainability, okay. What is sustainability? Using the resources in such a way that it does not compromises the needs of the future generation, okay. We all have studied what sustainability is in our future, in our previous years of studies, okay. So what are the various stakeholders, okay. The stakeholders, the workers and the community. So what are the benefits? The reduced waste and pollution will lead to more pleasant, healthier environment, okay. The customers, okay. Customers prefer dealing with businesses that look after the environment, as they are seen of being more ethical. So different people, different stakeholders, okay, in an environmental perspectives, okay, towards looking at the business organizations, okay. The shareholders, reduction in the waste and increased efficiency can improve the profits, okay, because it will lead to more customer attraction, okay. This could lead to healthier, higher long term returns for investors. The public, reduced pollution can lead to fewer environmental problems such as acid rain and soil erosion. So different environmental factors, okay, affect the views, perspectives of different stakeholders, thus affecting the business environment in different ways, okay. So all these factors has to be regularly be viewed by the businesses, okay. So next is the technological factors. What is the technological status in the economy? How fast the business is coping with the changing technology, okay. What is the current technology that has been adapted by the businesses, okay. uh, so technological changes affect the firms in many different ways, such as the organizational structure. It is a labor oriented, labor intensive organization, or a more technological advanced organization, okay. The product development, whether it is developing its product with the changing environment or not. The production changes, okay, as I told you, whether it is a labor intensive production or a more machine intensive production. And the marketing strategy, okay, whether the company is still marketing through, the newspapers and magazines, or whether it is present on the social media platforms or not. So many factors affect, many technological factors also affect the business organizations, okay. So there are a few key terms that we need to keep in mind. Number one is downsizing. What is downsizing? Downsizing is reducing the number of employees, okay, in the organization without affecting the final output, okay. For example, we must have heard about disguised unemployment, okay. डिस्गाइज्ड अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट का मतलब होता है जितने लोग हमें चाहिए उससे ज़्यादा हमने एम्प्लॉय कर रखे हैं, ओके. सो फॉर एग्जांपल, रिड्यूसिंग द डिस्गाइज्ड अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, okay, will lead to downsizing in the organization, okay. This will not affect the final output but will reduce the number of employees in the organization. So downsizing, okay. Then delayering is removing layers from the organization. For example, earlier we used to have different departments, okay, for all the products, okay. All the products used to have their own departments. Now we centralize everything, so this will delayer the organization, okay. And what is outsourcing? Outsourcing is providing work which we used to earlier do in-house. Now we are getting it done from outside, okay. Now by specialist providers. There are various advantages and disadvantages of outsourcing, and various types of outsourcing, okay. What are the types of outsourcing? We have 4 types of outsourcing: total, ad hoc, partial, and project management. What is total outsourcing? In the earlier chapter we discussed about virtual organizations, okay, which used to get all the work from the third party, okay. They used to just work as, contractors, okay. So total outsourcing, all the work is outsourced, okay. Then next is the ad hoc, okay. When the need arises we outsource the work, okay. ऐसा नहीं है कि हम outsourcing करते ही करते, अगर हमें outsourcing की need होती है तो हम outsource करते हैं, अगर नहीं होती, for example there is a lot of work, okay, so the employees are even if the employees are working overtime, काम नहीं हो पा रहा है तो हम उसको आउटसोर्स करेंगे, एड हॉक बेसिस, ओके. दिस इज पार्शियल आउटसोर्सिंग. ओके, कुछ काम हम इन हाउस करते हैं, कुछ काम हम आउटसोर्स करते हैं. ठीक है, फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल हमारे पास है IT सिस्टम्स. ठीक है, हम करते हैं, हमारे पास है इन हाउस IT सिस्टम, बट हम फिर भी कुछ काम हमने कुछ पार्ट ऑफ द IT सिस्टम हमने आउटसोर्स कर रखा है. ओके, फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल हम इंस्टॉलेशन खुद करते हैं, बट हम उसकी टेस्टिंग बाहर से करवाते हैं. अंडरस्टूड. एंड there's a project management. Project management is similar to ad hoc. ओके, अगर हमें नीड पड़ती है, ओके, सर्टन प्रोजेक्ट्स अराइजेस, तो हम उसको आउटसोर्स करवाते हैं. सो इट्स प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट. ओके, हम उसको इन हाउस भी कर सकते हैं, बट हम उसको आउटसोर्स भी कर सकते हैं. सो एड हॉक एंड प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट इज समवॉट रिलेटेड. ओके, सो व्हाट आर एडवांटेजेस एंड डिसएडवांटेजेस ऑफ outsourcing? First advantage is we get specialist knowledge. Okay, अगेन ऐसा हो सकता है कि हमारे पास सारी नॉलेज नहीं हो, हमारे एम्प्लॉयज़ को सारी नॉलेज नहीं हो किसी चीज़ की. ओके, एक पर्सन के पास हर चीज़ की नॉलेज नहीं हो सकती. सो जब हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में ऐसी सिचुएशन हो जाती है कि हमें स्पेशलिस्ट नॉलेज चाहिए होती है, ओके, तो हम उसको आउटसोर्स कर सकते हैं उस काम को. अगेन, आउटसोर्सिंग अगर हम इन हाउस करेंगे तो हमें काफ़ी सारी सेटअप कॉस्ट करनी पड़ेगी. ओके, हमें एम्प्लॉय ट्रेनिंग करनी पड़ेगी, हमें रिक्रूटमेंट करनी पड़ेगी. ठीक है, उस लेवल तक की, तो ये हमारी कंपनी के लिए कॉस्ट बढ़ा सकती है. बट अगर हम आउटसोर्स करेंगे काम को, तो वो आउटसोर्स्ड जो हमारी फर्म है, ओके, जो आउटसोर्सिंग फर्म है, वो एक फिक्स्ड फ़ी चार्ज करेगी, विच माइट बी लेस देन व्हाट the cost would have been if we set up an in-house service. Okay, now अगर हम आउटसोर्सिंग करेंगे, ठीक है, तो जो हमारे एम्प्लॉयज़ है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के, वो एक फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी उनकी इंक्रीज हो जाएगी. ओके, दे माइट बी एबल टू कॉन्सेंट्रेट ऑन मच इम्पॉर्टेंट एरियाज ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. ओके, एंड अगेन अगर हम आउटसोर्सिंग करेंगे, ठीक है, तो अगेन कॉस्ट सेविंग होएगी. ठीक है, suppliers may be more efficient at running the IT functions of the organization, leading to cost savings. Okay, डिसएडवांटेजेस क्या होता है? डिसएडवांटेजेस इज एक तो हमारे पास स्पेशलिस्ट नॉलेज कम हो जाएगी हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में. ठीक है, जिस स्पेशलिस्ट नॉलेज को हम अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में हायर करते हैं, अब वो हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में है ही नहीं. ठीक है, तो एक तो स्पेशलिस्ट नॉलेज कम होगी हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में. ठीक है, अब आउटसोर्सिंग के लिए क्या होगा, हमारे पास लॉस ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी होगी. जो इन्फॉर्मेशन अगर हम इन हाउस प्रोसेस करते हैं, हमारी कॉन्फिडेंशियल रहती है, हमारी फर्म के अंदर ही रहती, अब वो किसी थर्ड पार्टी के पास जाएगी. ठीक है, दैट माइट बी लीक्ड. ओके, देयर माइट बी सिक्योरिटी ब्रीचेस. ओके, नाउ अगेन रिलाइंग ऑन द थर्ड पार्टी might be a very disadvantageous situation for our organization. Okay, there may be situations where we might not be able to outsource some work. Okay, and the organization function might be hampered due to that drawbacks. Okay, so more dependence upon the third party. Okay, so these are the disadvantages and the advantages of outsourcing. Okay, so next is how impact of technological changes on products. Okay, अगर हम प्रोडक्ट मैन्युफैक्चर करें, ठीक है, सो व्हाट आर द टेक्नोलॉजिकल चेंजेस, ठीक है, दैट अफेक्ट्स द प्रोडक्ट्स. ओके, सो टेक्नोलॉजिकल चेंज, अब जैसे जैसे हमारी टेक्नोलॉजी एडवांस होती जाएगी, हमें अपने प्रोडक्ट्स भी एडवांस करने पड़ेंगे. ठीक है, फॉर एग्जांपल क्लासिक एग्जांपल इज सेल फोन्स. ठीक है, अर्लियर वी यूज्ड टू हैव दैट कीपैड वाला फ़ोन, ठीक है, नोकिया वाला फ़ोन, जिसमें वी यूज्ड टू हैव द नंबर्स एंड लेटर्स उसके नीचे छोटे छोटे लिखे होते थे, तो वी यूज्ड टू टाइप ऑन दैट. देन द स्मार्टफोन्स केम अप. ओके, अर्लियर वी यूज्ड टू हैव अ बटन ऑन द स्मार्टफोन्स. ओके, द बैक एंड द मेन्यूज buttons on the cell phone. Now we have a completely screen based. ठीक है, उसमें कोई buttons नहीं होते. ठीक है, so टेक्नोलॉजिकल चेंजेस के साथ साथ हमें अपने प्रोडक्ट्स भी एडवांस करने पड़ेंगे. ठीक है, सो टेक्नोलॉजिकल चेंजेस अलाउ मेनी प्रोडक्ट्स टू बिकम इंक्रीजिंगली मोर सोफिस्टिकेटेड. ओके, लाइक स्मार्टफोन्स. ओके, न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी कैन लीड टू इमर्ज in substitutes. Okay, example, physical maps being replaced by the use of navigation systems such as Google Maps. Some industries have seen their business model completely transformed. Example, online banking has reduced barriers to entry, allowing supermarkets amongst others to move into banking. Okay, we nowadays have online banking. ठीक है, earlier we used to go to banks to open our bank accounts or change our information in the banks, or address changes. For all these things we used to go to banks earlier. Now we have our application, we open our application, we change our information, and everything is done. So new models are being set up for every business. Okay, there's a customer support services. Earlier we used to call to the customer support services, and they used to give us some ways to get the service done. Now we just type an email, and next day the service center person is at our home. So uh, technological changes, with the technological changes we have to change our products as well, we have to change the services as well. Okay, now the impact of technological changes on the production process. Okay, earlier everything used to be manually handled. Okay, the people, for example, if I'm in a business of manufacturing clothes, earlier stitching भी हमारी मैनुअली होती थी, हमारी कटिंग भी मैनुअली होती थी. ओके, हमारी स्विंग भी मैनुअली होती थी. अब सब कुछ ऑटोमेटेड हो गया. वी जस्ट क्लिक ऑन द बटन्स एंड एवरीथिंग इज डन बाय मशीन्स. ओके, स्टिचिंग, कटिंग, everything is done by machines. Okay, which leads to greater quality. Okay, lower inventory levels. Okay, lower labor cost. Okay, so everything is now changing with technology. Okay, the product and the production process, everything changes with the technological changes. Now the impact on marketing, okay, of the technological changes. Now pricing. Okay, what happens with the prices? Now we the customers are smart. Okay, the customers are the king. Okay, they have a very smart eye towards the prices, which company is selling what price at what product. Okay, there must be a price watch by the companies, okay, towards the competitors price as well. Okay, if the competitor is selling at 100 and the we are selling at 110, so what are the ways that we can adapt to cut down our prices? So there must be a smart watch. Okay, now the promotional techniques, as I told you, हम न्यूज़पेपर्स और मैगजीन्स के वाया ऐड करें, या हम सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे भी प्रेजेंट है. सो देयर आर प्रमोशनल ways that are being changing with the technological change. Now the distribution channel. Okay, earlier we used to have manufacturer, then the wholesaler, then the retailer, and then the product finally reaches to the consumer. But आजकल क्या होता है, direct from the factories the product is being given to the consumer. Okay, there are various companies that sell their product directly to the consumer. So production distribution channel changes. Okay, and there is market researchers. Market research हमारी continuous हो चुकी है. The data customer database is very large that the organizations have. Okay, now impact on the of the technological changes on the society as a whole. Okay, as I told you, for example e-banking. Okay, earlier हमें कुछ भी information change करानी होती थी, हमें नया बैंक अकाउंट खुलवाना होता था, कुछ भी information लेनी होती थी. Okay, we used to go to the bank physically. Okay, but up nowadays we have for all the banks we have an application, we download it and we can get all the information, get everything changed, open a bank account or get some information. Okay, everything is online, so it's e-banking. Now shopping. earlier हमें कुछ भी लेना होता था, छोटी से छोटी पिन भी लेनी होती थी तो हमें shops पे जाना पड़ता था. But now it's e-shopping. Okay, online shopping. We have various apps. Okay, various social media, social platforms that help us to e-shop. Okay, every brand has its own online website where it sells its products. Okay, we get to know about the various sales that are happening, various new product launches. Okay, online shopping is there. Okay, helping it to reduce to go to physically to a shop and store. Okay, now there is home learning. Okay, earlier हमें for example हमें हर class, for example tuitions. Okay, various subjects की tuition अलग अलग जगह होती थी, but now we have everything in our phones. Okay, various teachers prefer to take classes online. Okay, for example if I'm teaching, okay, I'm teaching through YouTube. Okay, so it's e-learning. Okay, home entertainment. Earlier we used to go to movie halls and theaters to watch movies. Now we have Netflix, Prime Video, everything is online, e-entertainment. Okay, so everything changes. Okay, with e-commerce. Okay, So with this we come to an end to the chapter. This was nothing to cram about in this chapter. It was just in understanding of how different things changes with in the environment affects the business organization, the operations of the business organization. Okay, the key terms were downsizing, delayering, outsourcing. These were the important things. The advantages and disadvantages of outsourcing is important, types of outsourcing is important. Okay, and how does different changes affect the different operations of the business. It is the concept clearance is important in these types of chapters. Okay, so let's quickly look at the test to understandings. uh, Test to understanding number 1 is much of a research oriented. Okay, so let's leave it now. Test to understanding number 2. Test to understanding number 2 is which of the following statement is are correct. Number 1, a social trend towards increased materialism will be beneficial to all retailers. And number 2, a change in social structure may lead to change in social attitudes. Okay, हमें ये बताने की which of the following are true. 1, 2, neither or both. So 1 is technically false. Okay, and 2 is true. Okay, change in social structure affect the social attitude. Okay, right. And a social trend towards increased materialism will be beneficial to all retailers. No, it is not. So it is B. Now, test to understand number 3. Given increasing health concerns, there is a pressure for governments to legislate even more detailed food labeling. Give an example of one of those firms for whom this will be an opportunity and one for whom this will be a threat. So opportunity might be a seller for those who sell natural products, and for a disadvantage who sells processed foods. Okay, so uh, for those who sells natural product, there might not be requirement of food labeling very much, and for those who sell processed foods, they need to write each and every detail on the product, so this might increase their cost. Just to understand number 4, the average price paid by first time house buyer in UK continues to increase significantly. This has led to a shortage of affordable housing, resulting in shortage of key staff such as nurses and teachers in many areas. To counter this, there have been national and local government initiatives to ensure that new housing developments include affordable housing. What implication does it have on the house building firms? Okay, so the initiative will be viewed as a threat to profitability, as the firm will have to rent out or sale properties at the below of the market price. Okay, because of houseable the government initiative of providing housing facilities. Okay, so it's like that. Such questions does not generally appear in the examination. As I told you earlier, we have multiple choice questions, or fill in the blanks. Okay, so don't worry, we don't have such theory questions. Okay, we don't have to write much in the examination. It's just a tick mark paper. Okay, so let's look at next test to understanding. A supermarket. Test to understand number 5. A supermarket is considering improving its environmental image. Okay, which of the following would not help the supermarket to limit the damage it is causing to the environment? Okay, the first option is charging customers for using plastic carrier bags. Number 2 is improving sales forecasting to reduce wastage of inventory. Number 3 is improving accessibility for less able customers, and number 4 is reducing packaging on the fresh food. So it is definitely number C. ओके, क्योंकि नंबर सी से हमारे पास कोई भी इन्वायरमेंटल पोल्यूशन हम कम नहीं कर सकते. ओके, अगर हम कस्टमर्स को चार्ज करना शुरू करेंगे, दे स्टार्ट टू कैरी देयर ओन क्लॉथ बैग्स. अगर हम इन्वेंट्री सेल्स फोरकास्टिंग करनी इम्प्रूव अपनी शुरू कर देंगे, तो देयर विल डेफिनेटली बी रिड्यूस in the wastage of inventory, thus reducing the environmental damage. And food packaging को भी अगर हम reduce कर देंगे, तो environmental damage हमारा reduce है. नेक्स्ट टेस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंडिंग इज टेस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंडिंग नंबर 6. अगेन ऐसे क्वेश्चंस नहीं आते. वी हैव मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चंस. एन ऑडिट फर्म हैज़ डिसाइडेड टू एलिमिनेट द रोल ऑफ supervising seniors and split the workload between other existing staff. What type of change is the being described? So it is being, what is described here is delayering. Okay, हम अपनी layers अपनी organization में कम करें. Okay, we are eliminating the role of supervisor and splitting the role between the existing staff. So we are delayering. Okay, test understanding 7 is not important. ऐसे questions नहीं आते. Test to understand number 8. The accepted behaviors and norms that help bind a social group together. What is this? The definition of attitude, change, values or social structure. So it is C, which are values. Okay, the accepted norms and behavior. Okay, are the values. Downsizing is the process of reducing the number of employees, reducing the number of levels, contracting the out aspects of organization structure or reducing the prices. Okay, so it is A, reducing the number of employees. Reducing the number of levels of management is delayering. This is outsourcing. Okay, and test to understand number 10. The average age of the population, country's population, depends upon the birth and the death rate. Assuming equal rate of change, which of the following would give an overall reduction in the average age of the population? Rising birth rate, rising death rate, rising birth rate, falling death rate, falling birth rate, rising death rate, or falling birth rate and falling death rate. So it is A. Okay, rising birth rate and rising death rate would reduce the overall size of the population. Okay, because more will be the youth, okay, in the population. So it is A. Now test to understand number 11. X company is a commercial fishing organization. It owns several large trawlers that it uses to catch large volumes of fish. Okay, once a certain part of the ocean has been trawled, X ensures that no further fish is caught there for at least 1 year, even though there is a still large number of fishes left to be caught. This allows the fish stock time to replenish. What is the example of? Efficiency, recycling, sustainability, or effectiveness. So this is a classic example of sustainability. Okay, we are not compromising the needs of the future, right? Because we are allowing the resources to replenish. Okay, test to understand number 12. Which of the following is likely to be an advantage of organization outsourcing some of the less important operations? Okay, increased level of skill within the organization, increased workloads on the directors and the managers, increasing the time for management to focus on cooperation, and increasing the control over the outsourced function. So it is C. Okay, so when we are outsourcing the less important functions, we have time to able to focus on the important functions, the core operations. Okay, let's to understand number 13. Below are the four definitions of the term relating to the social trends. Match each of the definition of the values. Okay, for A, let's look. The accepted behaviors and the norms that helps to bind social groups together. So it is values. Okay, for A it is values. Okay, now B, individual personal preferences or patterns of choices. Okay, it are the taste. Okay, the person's attitude, personal preferences. Okay, personal preferences and the personal choices are the tastes. Okay, a group of people with same social economic or educational status. So it is the social class. And the remaining is a person or group's likes or dislikes are the attitude. Okay, now the last question. Increased automation has had a number of effects on the organization, including an increase in the level of outsourcing of the IT, which can have several benefits for the organization. Number A, a new IT supplier may have skills that the organization lacks. So let's first read the requirement, because the question explanation is quite long. Which two of the following of the above okay, are the benefits of this approach. Okay, we have to choose between the two. The new IT supplier may have the skills that the organizations lack. Okay, the organization will need to hire more members of staff. The organization's flexibility may increase. There will be a reduced risk of data security breaches. It will be easy for the organization to bring the IT function back in house in the future. Okay, outsourcing IT will increase the chances that the organization will gain competitive advantage over its rivals, and outsourcing may lead to organization being locked into unfavorable contract with the suppliers. Okay, so it is definitely A and C, because हम सीधे आउटसोर्सिंग के फंक्शंस पूछ रहे थे, आउटसोर्सिंग के एडवांटेजेस पूछ रहे थे. ठीक है, सो वी मे हैव बेटर स्किल्स. एंड so with this we come to the end of the chapter. Okay, if you have any doubts, okay, please feel free to comment in the comment section below. I will try to respond to your doubts as soon as possible. Okay, if you like the video, please do give it a big fat thumbs up. If you like the video, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for the further videos. Till then, bye bye.